So if we can change one person's mindset, just imagine how many persons you've changed in that generation. That is what I'm talking about. So today I am so honored and blessed to have someone I'm proud and humble at the same time to call a sister. And it's not about me, so I'm just going to give it all to her. She's an agricultural scientist, and by the way, are there some DSU folk, that's Delaware State University folks in the house? Let me know in the comment sections. So we both are products from Delaware State University, and to the glory of God, that was where we met. And she's also a DevOps engineer. Those IT folks in the house, let me know. She's a great dancer. So by the way, she'll tell you more about that on TikTok. So at the end, she's a mother, and she's a very, very big, I would say, the highest, or should I say let me leave it at the highest female soccer promoter. How many females here promote soccer? Like female soccer, and they don't. So it's something I like to see people are promoting things like that. And she, of course, is a very beautiful, multi-talented, and overall great person, and a proud product from Africa, who is based in Houston, Texas. Of course, you have people that know how to empower other people. As someone who's really into mindset, a lot of time, mostly when it comes to ladies or females, you see the negative energy of just competing instead of looking the strength in others and help each other grow, which is collaboration. Many tend to compete. So when I see people with the right mindset, ready to, so when I talk about female promoter of female soccer, that means that somebody would like to see all the females do well. That's what I'm talking about. And so definitely, I'm just really blessed to have her. And so having her today in this session was just something I'm like, why not? Because we've been rescheduling our programs, like when shall we have these conversations for people to know you, because obviously knowing somebody as a student, you can't say you know all about the person. But by the time you spend more time, like, oh, this person is great, she has a great mindset, she has this great personality, she's humble. There are many people, by the way, I have to say it here, there's so many people who live from Africa and they come here, they start looking down on the people back home. So it's, for me, I'm always very amazed when I see people who know their roots, know where they come from, and they get to the next stage. They are humble enough to help those who are still behind. Because at the end of the day, you were somewhere in that position yesterday. So without talking so much, guys, can we send some hearts, some love, and whatever you want to do to welcome my sister? She preferred to go as Lulu Rose. So for the rest, you hear when you have on stage. So Lulu, welcome to these sessions. And indeed, I know I can keep on talking and talking. I may not get tired, but of course, I honor you and I respect you. Your time is very valuable. I know it had to take a lot for you to be here. And I know, so thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. That's in the breath of supporting women, women supporting women, and that's exactly what I'm doing, I know what you do, and I know what that means to you. So if I can support you in any way, form, or shape, I'm right here with you. So I'm happy to be here, and let's have the conversations. Let's see if we can change some mindsets, because at the end of the day, that's the goal. So I'm excited to be here. Let's keep it rolling.
Thank you so much. Guys, she hear the voice. So what other talent do you think she has? Because that's what we do. So of course I could not tell you all the amazing things she carries, all the amazing things she does, but of course that is just to say she's just a great person. And I just want us to know more about her greatness, the glory she carries, and how she's navigating life, and what lessons she's learning that we too can learn from her, right? And there's some people from Zambia in the house, by the way. It's important that all honor people like that.
I've seen a few people, I've seen a few faces here.
Oh, that's awesome.
My number one's like all day, any day. I see you, just see Monday.
Oh, happy to have you Monday in the group, in the family. Welcome. Happy to have you in the house. We are really blessed that we are one people, regardless of where you're connecting from. we are one people. I know we live in times that people look for thousands of reasons to bring division. But we, as you can see, we are all about the positive energy, the greatness, and togetherness. So, guys, please let me see some hearts popping for this very amazing lady in the house. Please, let's send those hearts. Let me see them in the comment section. Lulu, you, of course, so many people see the things you do and they are amazed, just like I am amazed. Can you just give us a little bit of your journey of how you traveled to where you are now? Because, of course, you're doing great things and you're a great person, which means you've done a lot of self-work to be at this level you are. So we just want to hear a little bit about your story from you.
Yeah, like from a great person's perspective, I think charity begins at home. So I would give that credit to the people that raised me, my whole family, my whole extended family. That's just how we roll. You meet me, I'm a representation of my family. We're happy people, we're respectful, we're humble, we're just like that. So I'd give that credit to the people that raised me. So shout out to everybody there. But as far as like how did I get to where I am, I think it's a traditional route. Everybody, tries to go to school, they get good grades, they go to college, they go to university, they do what they gotta do. And it just so happened that in my education journey rather, I just happened to meet the right people when in the very right moments, and they just really propelled me to where I am today. So I'd say my greatest thanks God to CAMFED, the MasterCard Foundation, Earth University, Delaware State University, the USDA, because all these were combined efforts to really groom me into the person that I am today, in terms of like fostering or giving me the opportunity that I would have never thought in my wildest dreams that I would have. So for that, I'm forever grateful. As far as my personal, efforts, I think I'm just that person who was always driven, always wanted the best for myself. And so I did the best that I could at any given opportunity. I never took anything lightly. If it was in the classroom, I made sure I got the best grades that I could. If I was supposed to, study, I was in the right place studying, and then everything else really just followed. I feel like everything in life really is it's the law of is it Isaac Newton's third law of whatever that law is. To every action there is an equal
Tell
but
us says to every reaction,
to every action there's an equal
to
but
every
opposite
action
reaction.
there is a
Exactly. It's
reaction.
like whatever you put out here is what is going to come back exactly back to you. So I feel like I've done my part, and whatever I gave out to the world just came back right at me. So yeah, I put in my work. The rest of the people saw my work, appreciated it, helped me, propelled me to where I am, and that's how I am where I am.
Thank you so much, Lulu. That is so amazing. So, guys, you may be wondering why I asked this question. As I said, this is bigger than me. This is just something I believe so many people have to know. Types of the different levels and through which you see God's glory is in the people, and that's one thing Lulu has said, and that's something that also resonates with me a lot, which is something I wanted her to say herself. One thing that you see in common both of us is the fact that honestly she has been from Zambia, just not really Zambia, but if you see from a grass level to an amazing level, it's not just because people showed up, but importantly, we have to appreciate that there were people there, including these people from our home, our parents, extended family, as you mentioned. You have people who see your academic prowess and sponsor for. We all need people, and there are people that you meet in just that particular season, and maybe that's the last time you saw some people. There are people that were there in the previous season and are not there in this current season. And as well, the people that you met in the previous season that connected you to the people you're going to meet in the next season. So life is all about people. Another thing is having the people, it depends on you. That's why I asked the personal partner. You have to do the work. Imagine somebody calls you to do something or recommended you to somebody and you don't do your work diligently. How do you think? How do you think that person will recommend you subsequently? So that's what it is. So many of us have break bridges, and many times we fail to understand the power of this. Yes, I understand there's also a lot of toxicity in the workplace. Sometimes people use you. That's another story. But I'm saying in whatever situation you find your base, put in your best, do your best. It's something personally I've learned. So thank you so much again, Lulu. I have a next question for you. What really motivates you to be purpose driven? Because I must say, as I told you from the beginning, I have been in business space as an entrepreneur, as way back intentionally, differently. Any person who know me from elementary, they'll tell that this person was very passionate to always, I was always selling something in elementary. Always. So, and I really forgot. It's recently that it's come, like there was no class that I didn't sell something. I saw from pen, bonbon, ole, like everything. So that has been me. So for me, by default, it made me to understand that if I need money, I just need to offer something. For me, that has always been in me. I didn't see money as a big deal. I just see money like just know what you can sell or what service or product you can sell. So even for me, that was when I realized that life is beyond just you selling or you making money or about you. So, and talking to you, Lulu, I realize you also have that intentional mindset that is what puts somebody, by the way, to not just think of making money, but you're thinking of how can I promote these ladies who are doing soccer? That's the purpose you get. How can play soccer who maybe may not have the right people to push them, stuff like that. So that is purpose. And so my question to you is, what motivates you to start living? Is it like from birth, or did you get to a point that you learned that you had to do it that way?
Okay, so like the question is what? Wait, what's the question?
So my question is basically like you're very purpose driven, right?
Yeah. Okay, what drives me? Why do I do what I do?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. So if you know me, you know where I come from. You understand that I come from a place where we did not have enough. Enough is not even what we didn't have, basically. I come from a place where I know what it means not to have. And so there is only one option when you do not have. You need to get, So then my mindset has always been to get. How do I get in order to have what I need to have? So the only way really is to work hard. It's to do things that will change your situation. So what drives me is really knowing where I come from, knowing how many people are in a similar situation, and knowing the fact that I personally found myself in that situation or in those circumstances, not because I chose to, but it just happened to be. So a lot of people are in impoverished or they're in devastating situations, not because they want to, but because they found themselves in those situations and they can do almost little to nothing about it, at least when they're still young, So I understand that. And my hope and prayer is that I can do as much as I can within my power to help the next person to attain their greatest potential. And that's what keeps me driven. That's what keeps me, fighting to get the next cent, the next dollar, just so I can be able to extend the same grace that was extended to me when I most needed it, in order for that next person to get out of the situation that you know, that is currently, you know, holding them down. So that really keeps me going every single day. I'm always looking for opportunities for others. I'm always trying to help in the best way that I can, just so each and everybody can get their best shot at life. So yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Powerful. Thank you so much. Guys, please send some likes, hearts. Thank you all. I see Maria, I see my sisters. Mary is my sister. Francine is my sister. I see the word. They'll be happy to have you. I have sent, and every other person, please let's send some hearts and please share this video. Thank you. We are so honored and blessed to have you. And maybe at some point we want to also hear you share one or two things. So as I said, this is a landmark season, and a landmark season means we have to do landmark things. And it's just a blessing to have Lulu share this powerful thing, because I don't think a lot of people know her to this level. So I just felt like a lot of time people just see people dancing and you're just like, oh, she just like fun. She's a great, I want to say great person. I meant I don't just use words for formalities. So Lulu, that is so awesome, because just imagine everybody in this world was really thinking the way you think. This world indeed would be an amazing place. But of course, everybody cannot be like you. That's why I thought we should replicate you by sharing this amazing passion and greatness you are keeping within. Next question is also the fact, as I mentioned earlier, Lulu is very humble. She's an IT specialist. She does things, and I know that's what a lot of people may want to know her for, but I choose to know her for her personality, which for me is the greatest part in every human being. Which when we talk, guys, just to say a lot of times you see us in business meetings, I just thought it's important people know that we talk we discuss about so many other things, and we do so many other things together. So, but my question to you, by the way, Lulu, what keeps you humble and authentic? The first time we went to Lulu's house, I was so surprised that this girl is a typical African girl. But those who know what I mean, for food and everything, like I'm not the breakfast guy, by the way. We are on the same page with that, like that, and she keeps it simple. So I know you talked about your family, but also we are in America, and I've seen a lot of people move to America and said it's the culture and the vibe, stuff like that. And like develop extra bones on their shoulders. Don't mind me, guys. So my question is really, what keeps you humble and authentic? Because it's one thing to be humble, but it's another thing also to be your authentic self. Because we, by the way, don't agree on everything. So it's important I say that, and we keep it real. When we don't agree, we don't agree. So guys are authentic by that, I had to say, because a lot of time people think when people are close friends or when people are sisters, you need to do exactly the same thing. No, she has some areas that she's passionate about, some things that I just support her. There are things that she chooses and there are things I don't choose. So we respect that. And being able to say, this is what I like, regardless of other people's opinion, that is being authentic. So Lulu, talk to us more about that, please.
Humility, humility, humility. I think humility is a characteristic. It's a personal trait. It's something that is embedded within you from your upbringing, your principles, your values. It's part of you. If you're an arrogant person, you're just an arrogant person. If you're a humble person, you're a humble person, no matter what happens to you. I heard someone on social media saying that I'm only humble because I don't have money. The moment I get money, I'm no longer going to be humble. It's true, and I've seen money change people. And I've seen money change people. I've seen people change simply because they've changed area codes. They've relocated from one place to another, and then all of a sudden, everything about them changes. Every time I travel back home, people are amazed at like how fluent I still am at my mother tongue, how I still do the normal regular things that any average person is doing back home. There is no bone of arrogance or intimidating the rest of the people simply because I have attained what I have attained. And that's just like me as a person. I think there's nothing in this world that had ever happened to me that would change my mentality or my mindset on being humble. And also, to an extent, I feel like the people that change because of they have acquired what they have acquired, I really can't relate, because for me, I personally worked step by step to get to where I am. I know how much hard work it takes to get to where I am, and it's a gradual process. These things did not happen overnight. They happen gradually in a way that I don't even feel it. It's almost like growing up. You don't feel yourself growing up because it's a very minimal but gradual growth that happens to you every single day. So you're not just going to wake up one day and say, oh, I'm now an adult. It has happened gradually, so you don't really feel it. And that's the exact same thing with like for me to be where I am and still be humble. It's like I don't feel the change. I almost like don't feel the change. I feel like I have gradually evolved to be this person, and I just don't see like the difference. So I don't know. I say humble because I know, like I said, I know what it means not to have. So for me to use the status or the money or the house or the car or the being in the United States as a tool to look down on other people that have not gotten there yet is literally witchcraft. It can never be me. It can never it can never be me, you know. I would rather use the information that I've acquired, you know, the network that I have created, to open doors for anybody really that is ready to take that next step. So I stay humble because I know these things. Life is very volatile. Life is very volatile because the same way you attain things or you acquire things, it's the same way you can completely lose them. So stay humble, because it's those people that you're looking down on if you're not humble. It's those same people that are going to help you during the time when you lose everything. So for me, I don't even, it's not even something that I have to actively work on. It's just like part of me. It's who I am. That's just like it is just like that, you know.
Wow, 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 wow. Guys, are we all enjoying? Because I am blessed. So when I say I'm blessed, one of the blessings I get of each year I tell God is thank you for amazing people. You know I'm not joking, right, guys? Because when I say Lulu is an amazing human being, I mean it, because I meet people every day. And like, as how can God lift you and you start looking down at the people that are where you were? Like, how does that make it make sense? So that is basically one of the reasons you had me create the platform of creative and independent minds. Because sometimes it makes also some people to start adoring people who are ahead of them, which is still a form of witchcraft, if you ask me. Because like these people you are worshiping and making like your God are basically human beings like you. They are just a step ahead of you.
Yeah.
So creative and independent mindset minds, which is a platform, guys, you can just search on YouTube, on Facebook, is a lifetime assignment for me. It's just really mostly I'm really more concerned about the younger people, because it seems like there's no culture. Like there's no culture, because that's something I respect so much about culture. Is that giving people good values. I don't care whatever culture. So your culture gives you good ethical values. I respect culture. And Lulu can stay anywhere, she's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say like that every day. Like people say I can do that, but when you see somebody that's more than you, right? Give the person her caps and everything. Lulu is doing that better than me. Like Lulu can stay with Nigerians, Americans, whatever country you can think about, and she will be okay and able to adapt. Like I'm like, girl, how did you do this one? So by the way, gradually we are going to a better and more interesting topic. So Lulu, for those who have been seeing us, we've been doing a lot of things together. I'm giving you just a little bit of the background. Things that people don't know is the mindset. You can see already that we have some things in common with our mindset. For those who have been following me, you know some things. If you follow me and listen to my live session, you should know by now some things I won't stand for. I will not stand and see a young person disrespect an elderly person. Neither will I stand and see somebody being discriminated upon because the person is broke. Those are things that if you know I'm quiet, those are conditions that I may not be quiet irrespective of your age. Just giving that warning alert before time. And that's the same for Lulu. You see this good energy. It can tell when it comes to that opposite side of somebody trying to feel like, oh, the person is there trying to take advantage of somebody, a weaker vessel, as I would choose to call it at this point. So one area that we know people are being manipulative, mostly as Africans, and we are ladies. We have to admit that fact. So my question to you, Lulu, what made you take your financial journey very personal and serious? Because you said something before you come in, that the fact that you know whatever we own is volatile. So guys, if you are there, just type the word whatever you have is volatile. Whatever I have is volatile is something you said. So I know the in-depth of how much you process information, how much questions you ask, which a lot of people don't ask those deep questions. A lot of people are just so shallow in possessions, the superficial things of things, but you are very, very intentional and diligent about every decision you make. And I've seen you make very, very big decisions when it comes to finances. And I've also seen you grow in how diligent you make these decisions. So my question is, what made you come to this level that you decided to say, I have to take my financial journey very personal and serious?
Lucio, if you see me like this, my family does not own one kobo,
Guys, you know, testified, right?
My family does not own one kobo, okay? And if it's going to be me, if that responsibility has been bestowed upon me to be that person that is going to break that generational curse, I must do it. You know, we don't have just money laying around, you know, money to play with, you know, from where I come from, you know, and understandably so. They didn't have enough resources to work with. But I cannot take the opportunity that God has given me to come and be in this land of work, honey and what? Honey and what? You know, I get to meet people with such great mindsets. Like, I am exposed to this information. I'm exposed to a lot of means and ways that, you know, would otherwise shift the narrative and change my entire generation and my entire family and sit on that opportunity. I'll be a fool. I'll be a fool. You know, it's one thing not to know, but it's another thing to know and to have the information and decide not to do anything about it. You know, so I have chosen to approach my financial how do you call it? My financial what?
Journey.
My financial journey, or how I manage my finances, in a way that really is just not going to be temporal. I'm planning for a future where my children would not want, if they never wanted to work ever, they should be able to live and focus their energies in the things that they love the most, instead of focusing on trying to make a living, like trying to work just to, you know, put food on their table. I envision a future where a good piece of my generation, you know, would never have to work, but just like live very purposeful, meaningful lives. And that is very possible. The only hindrance is the information that majority of the people do not have. You know, majority of the people do not have access to very vital financial information, and unfortunately, the ignorant will always perish. So for the longest time, at least for maybe about like 27 good years of my life, 27, 28 good years of my life, I was just focused on how am I going to get the money? How am I going to get the money? How am I going to get the money? Understandably so. That's the culture. That's all that we learned. That's everybody just tells you, get the grades, graduate, get a good job. And that's exactly what I did, you know. I was very excellent in the classroom, you know. I was very good at that, but at the end of the day, yeah, I got a job, I got a really good paying job, but the money was still not sitting in my bank account, you know. So I think it's high time we as a community, especially the middle class people, started to focus on, when we get this money, how do we preserve it? How do we make it work for us? Instead of focusing on just getting the money, because yeah, you're getting the money, but at the end of the day, it goes because you have not mastered the art on how to preserve this money, or preventing yourself from losing the money and making the money work for you. So the idea is that you get the money, you preserve it, you make it work for you, and make sure you transition that money to the next generation and to the other generation to come, and therefore create wealth, generational wealth. So for me, that's my approach, and I'm grateful to have met, you know, people with such mindsets, because unfortunately, this is information that they never teach us in the classroom, because if they taught me this information in the classroom, trust me, I would be a millionaire, but no, they don't. They hide it. They hide it in the books because they know that we don't like to read books on our own. We only read books that is stipulated or that is indicated in our syllabuses, you know, so they don't. So if you do not have some sort of mentorship or people that have done these things and they have failed several times, they've gained years of experience on how to harness the system, or how to, you know, avoid certain things, and, you know, they've already made these mistakes and they mentor you, then you just don't know how to, because there's no way. If you don't know, you don't know. So I'm so grateful for this community, especially Lucy, for, you know, introducing me to some of like the best books you could ever read on finances, and, you know, just me starting a personal journey on, you know, investing in myself, like, you know, buying books and taking courses and reading and studying, just to understand, you know, how the financial system works and how I can potentially, you know, place myself to stand a better chance at, like, you know, making it. So thank you so much, Lucy.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lolo. So by the way, for those who have been thinking that it's not always or it's Lucy, you may choose to call me Lucy and call her Lulu. We are both Lulus, by the way. So you can see, for those who are saying, is Lucy was teaching Lulu. I just also wanted you to know how great she is. She's a great teacher. She teaches me a lot. I really, really love to have people who challenge me to go and read more, which I believe is what a lot of unaccountable, or is inaccountable, is in English people. People who don't like to be accountable learn from. They learn from people who can challenge you to read more. You mentioned something about books. A lot of time I notice that there are people, there are a set of people who don't know something, but they are the first one to impose their opinion on you. I don't know if you have noticed that.
Yeah.
People who don't know something. For me, those people, guys, I'm fleeing from you, because I really don't have 1 second. As you see, I'm not the person who have energy for unnecessary arguments. Like, I just flee from arguments. My concept about avoiding resolution of conflict is, first, why not stop it if you could prevent it? Like, why not stop it from happening? So I just free from people. This is just to say, I've seen a lot of people who God has helped them, who have nothing and whose families still have nothing. As Lulu said, we know where we come from. We know those who need us. There are people who have responsibilities, but they are all trying to impress. And that's the reality. Till the day you're able to sit down and face your reality that you're empty, and you need to feed your own family, feed yourself first, then for me, you can really be able to manifest in your greatness. So how to apply these things in real life. So for financial concepts, it's always been the first thing. I have friends like Jackie, as I always tell you, friends who know me know that one of the favorite gifts you should give to me, something you should give me, is a good book related to investments and entrepreneurship. So I have a couple of books like that from friends, amazing friends. And reading these books makes me to know how to value every dollar and do the right thing so that even generations can benefit. So having someone like Lulu who has been able to challenge me to not just read books, but read more books, it's a blessing. I thought it was so important to share with the world. Guys, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
I know a lot of only thing that some of us need to set ourselves free is not prayers, it's not helpers, it's our mindset. God has given you something. That thing you have used it to form a curse against your own self. So till the day you liberate yourself from that slavery mentality, then shall you genuinely be happy. But before we go, of course, I cannot have a professional and expert like Lulu. For those who don't know, Lulu having this mindset and having this mind of always helping other people, she has some services she offers to educate people about finances and make sure the tools she read, because of course a lot of people are just busy working for more money, as she said, and they don't have this passion to go and read the books like we are doing. We are doing the needful because the same we want to have something from Africans. We are Africans. I mean, we know that if you want to hide something from Africans, hide it in the books. And so a lot of information about finances are not taught in school, of course. I took financial courses in school. Every school I went through, as far as a financial class, no, you were going to see me in. That's why my friend amazing. So my question to Lulu, I know she has answered the part of why she educates and empower and the financial services, why she do what she do. So I will just go to basically my last question for the day. What would be your one advice you would give to your 23 years old self?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think at that age, that's when people are just graduating maybe their first bachelor's degree, like undergrad. For those that are ambitious, are going for their masters, because obviously, you just feel like the next step in life then is to, make the money. How are you getting the money? Because you're literally just coming out of college. So my mindset at that point when I was 23 was, I must get some of the best paying jobs, or like that was the only thing that occupied my mind at that point. Like, it's the job that I need. But I don't think you should be like that. I don't think you should be like that. A job is good, of course, it's going to put you in a stable position where you're able to do other things that would truly, it would truly like be meaningful to you, like the things that matter the most to you. Because a lot of the jobs that we do out here, we do them just because they pay the bills, not exactly because that is what your purpose is at the core of your heart. So the one advice that I would give to myself would be, yeah, go get the job, but start building an empire that you will one day be proud of, that you created. I feel like as humans, we're multitaskers. We can do it all as long as we want to. I don't think it should just be like one way street, just like for now I'm just focusing on getting the job. Like, you can literally do everything else. So what I would say is, I would have potentially started investing time and some of my resources towards like really learning how the financial system works worldwide. And that was the time when I was transitioning to the United States. I think understanding how to retain the money once I start making it, and also making the money work for me. Just like really broadening my financial knowledge beginning at that age would have potentially put me at a much better place than I am right now. You know, I was excited when I first got my first job when I was about like 26, and it was a 6-figure paying job. Woo! I was blowing the money. I was going everywhere. I was doing everything, you know, which is good. It's good for the experience, but like you can't continue living like that at some point. You need to now start knowing, okay, where do I put my money? At that point, I was just like pumping my 401k with the money, because I literally had no other ideas where I could have put my money. So the 401k account was the only account that was like most appealing to me, because of course I am blind. So I ended up putting a lot of money in my 401k, you know, because the company was advertising it. Oh, we put a full match. If you put this much, we give you this much. So it was exciting, and I was like contributing to the fullest to my 401k. And then as I started reading when I was about like 28, 29, I started like reading financial books. I was like, I've been doing it all wrong, but luckily I wasn't too late, you know. I wasn't too late. So if you're watching this and you're 23 or younger, please just like really try to expose yourself as much as you can to, you know, to financial books, because at the end of the day, we all need some sort of financial freedom, and that's the real freedom, because financial freedom gives you the rest of the freedoms that you really need: freedom to movement, freedom to, you know, spend time with your family or those that matter to you, freedom to be able to do so many things that you've ever wished, if you have that first freedom, which is the financial freedom. So yeah, just really get your head into these books, and like start to seeing different types of opportunities and strategies that are available for you. There's definitely a myriad ways of getting there, but luckily you have some people like us that are slowly figuring things out, and we have some people like our mentors who have already figured things out, so we can just like, you know, transmit this knowledge down to you. You don't have to do the hard work. So just like associate yourself, find yourself in groups, find yourself in rooms where people are talking about these things, and eventually it's going to be like second nature. It's going to be part of you. Then you start breathing, you start doing these things, and it's really about the mindset. Whatever you put in your head, whatever you are surrounding yourself with, it just becomes part of you. So in a nutshell, as a 23-year-old, I would surround myself more with like, you know, financial financial freedom mindset people that have that type of mindset, reading more, investing my time and resources, just like acquiring this knowledge and starting slowly to build an empire that that I would be proud of, and that I could, you know, eventually leave or, you know, pass down to my kids and my kids' kids. So yeah.
Lulu, indeed, I'm so blessed to have you as a sister. I'm so blessed to have been listening to you. You don't know how much you empower me, because guys, Lulu sometimes ask me questions at the level. Sometimes that's how we work. We go by, as I said, she challenges me a lot to do more research, and this we go with all the, because a lot of time, mostly with Christians, we are good at just saying amen. But you see me, I'm talking because intentionally I know my main people are Christians. Those are my people I'm targeting, because a lot of Africans, people go to church for different reasons. People go to church for God to just do miracles. So that's one of the area I get motivated to really talk to people that, hey, these are not how these things happen. No. Miracles happen also based on your knowledge and faith. That's why each time Jesus heals somebody, either say your faith has made you well, or in the case where you had a paralyzed man being led by his friend into the house for Jesus, he said the faith of your friends makes him well. So at the end of the day, faith is based on understanding. You cannot have faith in somebody you don't understand, right? You cannot have faith. Lulu is doing the work, or because it's easy for people to say, "Oh, why is this so hard? If people just talking about finances?" It's because we are discovering things that nobody told us, guys. I wish somebody had sat me down early when I was 23. That's why I had to use that particular age, right? Because I know where I was really doing business. But there are things I know now which I didn't know then, to be honest. And I've read books. I had mentors. But this is just to say, which time in life, keep learning. We all have to keep learning. And before we go, I have to say this. Finances or money is a concept that, to be honest, a lot of people have not understood clearly. A lot of people are focusing on what they have in their bank accounts, and Lulu used a word that I said we should type in volatility. If you understand money as a volatile tool, a tool that can go at any time, you want to understand how you can manage it for your own peace of mind, for you to have freedom to do other things, for you to, like, I always say this, a lot of times people say Africans or our mother state or some our generation, the old people state in marriage regardless. I say no. Look also in the Bible, don't just look in your community, because anybody who was labeled a virtuous woman was an empowered person. So if you say, oh, you want to be a virtuous woman, it's not just to be in a relationship because of money, because a lot of ladies get married for money. And that is wrong, because at the end of the day, you will not change someone with a bad character or wrong mindset because the person has money, right? And imagine that person is the one giving you money. So I've seen a lot of people in situations which I call situationship because of money. And for me, it's things like that that gives me that motivation to go and look, how can I use to empower other people coming so they don't get into this situation.
Sad enough, Lucy, sadly, like, money is not sexually transmitted. Okay? So if you're going to go and sleep with that man and get married to that man, simply because when that man is gone, the money is gone too, because that man is smart enough.
They have to change the next person, girl.
Exactly. He cannot leave that money to you. You leave that money to his relatives. So you live with nothing. You stay with nothing. So are you going to depend on marriage or on that man to be the person to financially sustain you? Very unsustainable. That's a very unreliable solution. And what is it that man is doing to get the money that you cannot do? Exactly. Are you not two people equally potent with the same one head on your shoulders, the same brains? Like, what's so special about the man that you want to let him be the one to make the money and you benefit of him? It doesn't make sense. So just go ahead and, like, get the money yourself. You know, it's not sexually transmitted. Once it's gone, the money's gone too. So.
Thank you so much. So guys, that's how we see things, and that's just the truth. We may want to beat around the bush about 10 or flaunt, or you see some people trying to impress with the way they dress, the makeup. Guys, some days we don't have to put makeups. Two of us, if you know us, you can see that. That's just to say, at the end of the day, we know things that are temporary. You can put the makeup and you don't wash your face after. So that should not be what defines you. We have the opportunity to build things for ourselves, so that we will be in relationships for the right things. We will prioritize the right thing. If you ask me, what do I want any person who come close to me, including Lulu, what should she get after each encounter, is a good reason to go back and focus in his or her purpose on earth. It's clear. I see every human being beyond job. It's good we all have these jobs or should have it. For those who didn't inherit anything in the bank account. You understand? You need it though. You need it to start from somewhere. Some people, you need sponsors, anyone that work for you, but don't use whatever you're using for survival to be your limitation. There are great things we all can do. There are great people who are lamenting somewhere because there's no one to help send a helping hand. Forget about the fact that we don't post the things we do or the people we help on social media. Sometimes we are tempted to see these people who are generous are the ones who post it every day. I gave $2,000 to this person. I have no. There are people I can tell you for free that are no longer sponsoring people to school. I can give for free. She has never posted something like that. So those are the things we are talking. We want to be able to empower ourselves in the right way, and it's not also making people dependent. So how can we empower ourselves and make sure that at the same time we are empowering other people? Is by giving people what we know and going together. So this is to end by saying that if you have a job, it's good. If you have questions about the benefits you can have for your job, feel free to ask us, because we've done to you the due diligence to dig. And there are state costs for those in the US. There are costs that are for that gives you in-depth understanding. Pay for those courses. I think the one I'm taking now from the state of Texas to Kevlan is not up to $12. I know I got a package of a couple of courses, which is like $29. So instead of you just working by what 1% your employer told you, remember that employer may not be there when you're 52 years old. That employer may not be there when you're 70 years old. And I'm going to be unapologetic as I talk with this very boldly, because there are benefits you have that stop the day you stop working, regardless of how long you worked in that company. So don't wait to be in a shock. Many people, also now I'm talking to things I see in the US. It's shocking for me to come to the US and see that some people are going through the same thing people in Africa are going through. To be honest, I was shocked about that. I don't know about you, Lulu. I was so shocked. Like, the first thing that shocked me was seeing somebody at 72 trying to clean. Each day I saw this person enter the lab, I asked myself so many questions. It can happen to you. You don't know what happened to him, but it can happen to you. But how do we see things like this and prevent it that it doesn't happen to us? It's by acting. It's not just prayers. There's no faith without actions, guys. There is just no faith without action. So yes, we are just here to say we believe in collaboration and not competition. We believe in using whatever each and every one of us have, regardless of where you come from. Lulu originally from Zambia. I'm originally from Cameroon. Lulu does not stay, for those who think I live in Houston. I don't live in Houston. I live in Arlington. So this is just to say, avoid giving yourself any unnecessary boundary or limitation that will stop you from learning the truth and doing the truth. Because at the end of the day, for me, I don't care if I'm wrong. As far as the truth is being promoted, that's what matters. I don't care if it makes me look stupid at some time. It doesn't matter. As far as is the truth and somebody's getting the truth, that is the most important thing. So there are just so many things that if you learn. For me, I learned something that made me to say, over time is not for me. 2 jobs is not for me. Information. The same time that I can be spending for a 2 job, I can use the extra time. Yes, it may reduce what I get financially. I can use it and build and work on my own ideas. Think about it. Just think about if you have been investing the same time you invest in your second job in your own idea. Where will you be now? 5 years. From that 23 years you were in, right? That maybe you have been doing other businesses of people's own businesses because that's what they offer, whatever. Imagine if you've been investing that same time in that idea that you had at the age of 23. Where will you be now? Imagine that if you had the knowledge you have now, if you had it when you were 23 years old, where will you be? And imagine now, what if you have this knowledge at the age of 5? That is what we are changing. We are not even taking it back to 23. We are taking it to the age of 5, in fact 4. By the time a child is going to school, teach your child the basics. Let the child grow up with the truth and not lies. That is what we are doing. And as you see us, we are unapologetic. We are like unstoppable. And
Yeah,
we are not looking anybody in the eyes. We don't care. No, we are not afraid to look anybody in the eyes, by the way. So this is also say it's been a blessing. And I don't know, Lulu, do you have any final message, please?
yeah, I think at the end of the day, just set your priorities right and stop making excuses. People sometimes you approach somebody with an opportunity, something that you know is authentic, and it's something that could potentially change their life and the lives of their families, and they'll give you excuses that are not really substantial, but they'll be okay with, like, let's say, paying for a Netflix account, $29 subscription, Apple subscription, YouTube Prime subscription, DoorDash, Amazon Prime subscription. All those are $29, $30, $29.99, $29.99, all of them. Before you know it, every month they're spending $500 on useless subscriptions. But if you told them that, okay, you can purchase this type of an asset that is going to make you a millionaire with $500 every month, they just simply can't compute it in their head. You're like, wow, where did we go wrong? It's lack of information, it's ignorance. And that's why we're imploring you to go and do the research, to go and read for yourself, ask the questions, talk to whoever you need to talk to, get the people that have done it, how they've done it, and let them show you how to do it. And like, at some point you have to just like be open-minded about certain things and start assimilating the right things and doing the right things, like yesterday, beginning like yesterday, because the best day to start was literally yesterday. So just be open-minded about things, make the right choices, set your priorities right, and have some hope, have some hope, and let's change lives,
Sure. Lolo has been a blessing to so many people, and I just really want to tell that Lolo, some people may definitely not appreciate you because they are so proud, but I will give you your flowers that you're doing an awesome job, and may you indeed continue to be a blessing. Don't change because of people, because sometimes it can be discouraging when you're doing the right thing. And for me, I have the grace to know that the rejection is part of saying that you're doing the right thing, because if everybody accepts what you're doing, you're compromising.
That's true.
Yes, rejection for me, if somebody reject an idea, it rejects me, it's just to tell me that I'm not the same with that person. I don't think like that person. I'm not in that direction, because Jesus was rejected by the Pharisees, the people who have read it. So when I see somebody say, oh, I've read it, because for example, I can confidently say, as we have people with this food science together, but there are people that after the exam, they can't tell you anything related to food science again. Not to discredit anybody, but that is also, that makes me to say what I say and what I do with confidence. To say there are people who go to school, or some people who read to just prove a point. There are people who read to pass an exam. There are people who read and that information they understand and keep it. So that understanding is in different levels. So that's why, guys, I made a video for you guys. Knowledge is in different levels. Be able to know where you belong, so that you don't start. For me, I'll not argue with some people. I'll not keep some people close, because what you're saying is basically at the basic level of knowledge of that topic. I cannot stand, for example, I argue with somebody about when there was like messenger RNA of DNA, or when it comes to COVID vaccine, when I know the person does not have the basic molecular knowledge again. So that is the same thing when it comes to so not, guys, not to brag, I'm just saying the truth. The truth is that when it comes to these financial things, I know that so many people who say I am a financial professional, I am a license for 40 years, and I've listened to some of their videos, and I'm like, really? Lulu, I've shared some situations.
Oh yes.
So guys, that's why we're saying what we're saying. Like, it's not a matter of how long you've been dating. There are people that see us like, because we are doing this thing, because there are people who have worked to us like, oh, you guys are doing great. How long have you been dating? We've been doing this thing for 3 years. No, the only secret we've been going to read to understand and ask ourselves challenging questions and be honest to face the truth for ourselves before we share it.
An
So guys,
This is what we have
exactly.
left.
We have done some experiments that some people will not know.
In experimenting, because
Experimented things.
we learn by doing.
so this is to say, by the way, for those who we are both in the US, we are in Texas, but what services do we offer is a question that some people may ask. As I said, we do so many things together outside of Lulu promoting the other things she promote and the financial services. I just want to narrow it down to whoever is watching this video. You may be 50 years old, maybe 70 years old. I will be very honest to say that some basic that you may have done. There are some things that you may have done and you think that is the only. Be careful, please, not to transfer this, because I'm saying so after taking the course, we both, by the way, have health insurance license. So, for example, when people hear the word insurance, they go kicking. Like, they don't want to hear about it. But the truth about it is, I will tell you for free that most of anything that has to do with protection, in fact, all, as far as income protection, health protection, making sure that employer does not fire you at any time, things like that, there are laws involved. And this protection, one of the essential tools, like a must-be tool, are insurances. So you want to make sure you are understanding those papers you're signing at the beginning of every job, at the beginning of as you're planning your financial journey, your retirement, you are getting a house, acquiring liabilities, acquiring assets. You need to protect them. You need to plan. And again, Lulu, you're a great person because not every person thinks beyond themselves, you get, or beyond their immediate family. For you to think about people who are not related to you, or think about people in your absence, it's only great people. That's what the Bible is specific to say. A good person leaves an inheritance for the children, right? A good person, do not say everybody. So not everybody, honestly, is at that space of thinking beyond what the person is able to show now. Not everybody is able to be there. So one of the things we do is making sure that we are able to educate people who are able or willing to learn. This does not matter if you are not in the US. That's the first point to me. We are able to want to help everybody genuinely. At this point, do we have a fear, or do Lulu have a fear? Let me talk more about Lulu because we do similar things at this point. So Lulu does not have a fear at this point, which means if you have genuine question about some financial, for example, you want to acquire a house and you have question, feel free to ask her. She has gone through the process of getting a house. She's very diligent.
And also a lot of people that do not have green cards, like let's say they're on student visas, they feel like they're not qualified just by virtue of them not being green card holders. I'm not a green card holder. I'm still on my student visa. Good. But I purchased my house last year. Easy, simple, straightforward process, like no issues at all. Nobody even asked for my green card or anything. Do you have the right requirements? That's the question. Like, so yeah, those are all things that we can help you navigate. The goal is to get you to your goal, achieve them, achieve those goals.
Thank you so much for adding that. So I also have to say that personally, I had those issues of people telling me that because you're a student, and that's one of the things I wish I didn't listen to people about. I learned how to read the books, and that's why, by the way, one of the things I'm reading my books, because why being a student, if there are some things I learned and did at that time, of course I know, but I don't regret those when I did what I did based on what I knew, and now I have to challenge myself to learn. So yes, a lot of people out there will tell you about processes they themselves have not tried. Everything we are teaching you, I'm telling you for free today, we have experimented. We have experimented. So talking about a house, I've not yet bought a house. Lulu has bought a house. So can you, who would prefer for you to ask about the process, Lulu? And are there some things that I can give you about? Yes, because I've done the research. And again, when it comes to protection and anything as far as a property asset, as I said, I got answers for you. Yes. So yeah, that's why we work together, because where I'm weak, she's strong. Where I'm strong, she's weak. And we keep building each other so that we all get strong in every area. So if you want to get questions about trying to acquire a house and somebody told you you're a student, you are not having green card, you must be this, please cut all those social media noisemakers. I don't care about them. Just cut them off your life as we march on to glory this month. Now, if also you are very intentional, as I said, 23 years old is when I wish I knew some things that I don't. Thank you so much, my sister Solange, for joining. I wish I knew. Please, it's not even before you go to school that you start planning financially. Please, let's be clear. It's supposed to be at the elementary level. There's a favorite, the how they call it, billionaire mechanic, for those who know him from Nigeria, the founder and CEO of Pamtech. I love that company. It's the most environmental friendly company I know now. And I can match it with another one that's quality insurance, something from Ghana. These are environments that their employees are happy, like happy for the quality insurance. It's all about music. For this one, everybody, the man intentionally makes sure that he's empowering them to own their own companies while working for him and making sure that they are growing their social media. Like, how many employers do that? So when I see people like that, and but importantly, he's training his children to be self-employed and also very diligent and purpose-driven at a young age. His son, which him and Mason is sharing it with us, is doing an awesome job in like there are times that he has some basic training, he comes back to the company, he does not go to regular school system. They teach him and he practices it. And for me, I'm just at that phase in my life that I'm not going to bring any child in this school to just go through the bananas of people go. So if you're very intentional about your own journey, like a person, I don't care if you're married, single, or don't ever want to have children, I talk about you now. Please don't wait till you graduate. Ask questions on time, because you may regret and some things you may not change. Now, to this other set of people, these people who decide to get married, please, marriage, as I said, some things are not sexually transmitted. I don't want to go into that topic because that's something that I can talk to tomorrow. Some things are not. Be informed for yourself. Don't wait till when things get sour after 20 years. You start using like, I've wasted 20 years. You chose to waste it. So please, if you're single, please dedicate the time now to learn these things. Contact the right people. Don't wait till when things are going south. Now, to the people who plan to bring children or have children, this set